ACT is a very well-known college preparation company, and they give us a series of assessments. One of those assessments is the Explore test given in 9th grade. And the intent of the Explore test is to determine a student's college readiness in language, math, science, reading, and then they receive a composite score, which is kind of taking all 4 of those content areas and putting it together. Central Davis Junior High, along with all of our other junior highs, administered the Explore test to all 9th graders for the last 3 years as part of a special state program that we're a part of. And in looking at the scores at Central Davis Junior High, we noticed a really big jump from the 2012 administration to the fall of 2013 administration just a few months ago. And students' composite scores went from the 52nd percentile to the 56th percentile. And that's a really impressive jump, especially when you consider what percentile rank means. For percentile rank, it takes the lowest achieving student in the whole country and the highest achieving student in the whole country and lists them in order from low to high. And so to say that the average at Central Davis Junior High jumped 3 points, that means that the students at Central Davis Junior High jumped 3% of the students in the whole country on this, and that's a significant number of students when you think about it. And so the having achieved this kind of gains in the Explore composite is representative of something excellent going on in all of the content area instruction at the school.
Central Davis has a lot of great things that have happened. We've done some modifying of some of those things and done some tweaking. So one of the biggest programs, well actually a couple of the biggest programs that we have is our Flex program. And how that works is students meet in their advisory or their central time class on Mondays, and the teachers go over their grades with them, with the students. And students then account for their grades, their attendance, their citizenship during that half-hour block of time. And then the teacher also meets with the student, and if the child has any D's or F's, the teacher with the student identifies which class periods, Tuesday through Thursday, that they would go to during a flex period, and they would be assigned to go to whatever intervention class they are to go to. The neat thing about the program too is the students that have C's or above get to go to an activity class during that block of time, or they can go to an intervention class if they've missed a test or need to make something up.
I think the greatest thing that Flex has provided is us a smaller student ratio. So they can come in, and sometimes I'll have 8 students, sometimes I'll have 20 students, but I'll be able to work with them one-on-one. And I'll know more what they're struggling with, because in a classroom it's really difficult to know exactly the certain assignment or the topic or the concept that someone's struggling with. So I've loved Flex for that. It really allows a teacher to focus on that student, find out what the problems are and how we can solve those.
Depending on how many kids we have, for 25 minutes we can do one-on-one teaching with them. We're in a classroom setting, you're teaching them as a whole, and I think in that aspect, I've enjoyed it. I hope that they have, that they get one-on-one teaching as we bounce around, and they can work on it for a little bit as we move to someone else. And if they're in your class, they can immediately get the assignment turned right into your box.
We start with 7th graders, and we take them all the way through 9th grade. And last year, I had my 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, and they were 9th graders last year, so I got to take them from 7th grade to 9th grade. And it's great to see them grow in their different areas, because they start as 7th graders, they kind of don't really know what direction they want to go in schooling, really. And by the time they turn to 9th grade, they really kind of know what areas they want to go into, what classes they want to go into, and that kind of stuff. And I think Central Time builds that bond with those students, because otherwise, 45, 50 minutes every day with a student, you don't really get to know them as well. But
to have a move that significant requires the effort of the whole staff. It has to do with the counseling team, it has to do with the instructional team in all content areas, not only just our language, maths, and science teachers, but the other teachers as they embed those skills in their own instruction, writing across the curriculum, reading in every content area, focusing on numeracy skills in every classroom. And so it's a concerted effort that's a school-wide thing, and it requires good leadership and a lot of community collaboration as well.
We have a great faculty. They're dedicated to student learning, and so I don't know that it was that hard to, I don't want to say talk them into it. It was kind of a collaborative thing. We talked about it in our JSSC. We talked about it in our community council with PTA, with just the faculty at large. to let them know the importance of student learning, and we have to do these things for the growth.
Spend a lot of time together even after hours. Sometimes we're here till 4:30 or 5 working on the next couple of lessons on how we can improve them. And it's not always me giving the best idea. It's, hey, you got a great idea, I got a great idea. And so working together, I think it helps use 3 minds instead of 1 type thing. And so and we even have common assessments and common lessons. And we try to stay right at the same time so we're able to work together. And I think that's been really effective here with our faculty.
It added a little bit of work, but I think, like I said, the time that I get to spend, especially with my Central Time kids, going over, okay, this is what you're missing, are you going to remediation, are you doing this to get this grade up, it helps because it kind of shows them that, you know, they at least have a teacher that's going to, you know, take their time to see, you know, these are your math classes, even though I'm not your math teacher, these are your math scores that you're low on, are you going back, getting help with that kind of stuff. And I think that makes it worth the little bit of time extra that we have to put in.
Teachers are more aware of where they're falling down because of this flex program. We each week have to write. We have to look at where they're struggling, and then we send them to those places based on those tickets. So I think it's probably the faculty has changed more than the students themselves.